Hey guys, and welcome to the DIY Designer. If you're new to the channel, I'm Orly Shani. I will be your host on this DIY extravaganza. I'm so stoked about today's show because I'm finally doing the collab that I've been dying to do. Today's episode, I collab with April, who is the amazing, amazing mind behind the Coolirpa channel. You guys, if you do not follow her, which, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, if you don't follow her, you're gonna fall in love with her. She is just such a rock star when it comes to DIY fashion. I learned so much from her with every single episode, whether it's tailoring, draping, my personal favorite, her thrift transformations, which are like the stuff of legends. You're absolutely gonna love her, and I learned so much, so I think this is gonna be a really, really fun episode. Now, we decided to challenge each other. That's right, we challenged each other to a duel.
Orly here challenged me to a thrift store transformation challenge.
That's right. And then April went ahead and upped the ante by challenging me to a strictly men's thrifting duel.
Yep, so we both went shopping for men's clothes only, and the other rule we had was that
it had to be for spring. So not only did we have to shop in the men's section, but we had to convert it into a woman's piece for spring. And there's only one more rule, and that is it has to look amazing. All right, so now we got to get to work. I'll see you on the other side, April.
Yeah, see ya.
So what I did was I bought those 4 shirts, and this is kind of what I wanted to make. I was really inspired by all of the street style images that I found of shirt dresses, and I loved how a lot of these shirt dresses looked like maybe at some point they actually could have been menswear. So I thought it was really cool, and that's what we're gonna do. Let's take a look at materials. Start off by putting your shirt onto your dress form, and I'm using my measuring tape, not actually to measure anything right now, but just to use it as a guide so that I can pin and follow along the natural princess seam, which is how I'm gonna cut my shirt. So I followed the line, and now I am using the measuring tape to measure the distance so that I can replicate it on the other side of my shirt. I wanna make sure that they're perfectly symmetrical. So on the left, you can kind of eyeball it, but on the right, measure each pin from the pin to the button placket, and then repeat that on the opposite side of the shirt. So now I've got a perfectly symmetrical pin on either side, and I'm just taking a pencil and connecting the lines lightly. I'd recommend going about a 1/4 inch outside of the pins so that when you sew it, that gives you your seam allowance. Follow the line on both sides nice and lightly, just kind of creating a smooth line for your princess seam. Now take the shirt off the dress form and lay it flat on the ground. Make sure that you button it so that you ensure that you're perfectly even and smooth out any wrinkles. We're cutting through the front and back at the same time, so make sure there are no wrinkles anywhere. Now just obviously follow the line, cutting through as nice and smooth as you possibly can with your fabric scissors. So there we go, that is my center part of my shirt. Now I need to create my sleeves, and I'm gonna do that with the white shirt. So take the blue part of your shirt and line it up. I know that for a women's shoulder and for my shoulder, a 5-inch shoulder is right. So I'm going to slide my blue shirt over as much as I need to in order to end up with a 5-inch shoulder. This is actually tailoring my shirt as I'm cutting it. So I'm getting rid of all that excess you see there on the right. So I do the exact same thing, and once you do your first and you move on to your second, just double check all your measurements to make sure that they end up matching perfectly. So now you can see I've got my 2 sleeves and my center piece, and this has been fully taken in because of the way I chose to work with the shoulder there. So now we need to sew them together. Flip your sleeve inside out, and you want to pin them face to face. Start on the shoulder and then work your way down. Now flip it inside out before you sew it, and just double check that you did it face to face. Trust me on this, I sewed it backwards on one of them, so just double check it before you sew. Now you can see I've got a nice, clean, perfect seam, and it follows that princess line exactly. Do the same thing on the other side, pin and sew. I'm gonna turn this into a skirt. I'm just gonna put a piece of elastic here, and then I can wear this skirt underneath this when I'm wearing this dress so that it just gives me a little bit more length, but then I can also wear this as a skirt on its own, which is great. It's a twofer. So take that bottom half of the blue shirt, and you're gonna create a casing for your elastic. So the size of the casing depends on the width of your elastic. Pin the one side of the elastic into the center front. The rest of these, you want the elastic to be free. You just want to pin the casing, And now when you get back to the other side of the elastic, again, connect it in the center front. Double check all the way around that your casing is perfectly even so that the elastic waistband looks even when you're wearing it. Now this is really important. Pull on the elastic, fully stretching it while you sew. So with your left arm, feed it through the sewing machine, and with your right arm, pull it taut so that you're sewing it in its stretched out form. And now when you let go of it, it all comes together like an elastic skirt should. I decided I really want to turn this into a front tie shirt dress. First off, I wanted to take it in so that it wasn't so baggy. So I put the shirt dress on and I looked in the mirror and I just pinned out any excess. So put your arm up and pin out as much as you need to so that it fits you appropriately. Next, just take it off, lay it flat on the ground, and you can see I just took a pencil and drew a line from my cuff going to the underarm and then straight down to the hem. That was my guide when I was sewing, and obviously I just went over it with a simple straight stitch. Next, I'm cutting off that excess, and this is creating my new seam. So now you can see my shirt dress has become that much smaller. When I flip it inside out, it's gonna fit me just like I want it. Now it's time to add in the ties. I'm actually using the blue sleeves from that little skirt that I made because I was just gonna throw it in the trash. So you lay the sleeves on the back of your shirt dress and make a mark rather for how much you need to open, because we need to open up that back seam in order to put our sleeves in. So I'm just taking my seam ripper and I'm ripping open the back seam from pin to pin. Once I have both of them open, you can see there I've got two nice openings. Take the sleeve and slide it into the seam, and you're gonna pin the edge of the sleeve into those seams. Now, when I sew that seam closed, I'm gonna sew the sleeves into the back of my dress. And now I have a front tie shirt dress, and it's all made for men's clothing at the frickin' thrift store. Come on.
I'm gonna make a mistake. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, nothing can break me. Try not to hold.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. This was such a fun collab with the dopest chick in the world who just creates the most amazing things. So you have to make sure that you now go to her channel, watch this video, subscribe to her channel. You're not gonna regret it. You're gonna learn the most amazing things. This was so much fun.
And don't forget to leave a comment down below and let us know how you think we did.
There's no winners here. So don't pick a winner, but just tell us how much you like them both, we hope. Bye guys.
I wanna drive a faster car.